Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wyatt Watch. And I know it's a little different time because we're about an hour behind, but we had so much going on today.
Yes, we have.
So we had to push it. I hate to not do things when we tell people we're going to do it, but today was just a special day. Had a lot going on. And again, that speaks to the momentum of our campaign. So we're really appreciative, and hopefully y'all tuning in. Because first I want to just thank again our friends at Mindframe Media for their production. If you all been on my website, Wyatt for Buffalo Mayor or WyattForBuffalo.com, you see the tremendous work these guys are doing and presenting me and what I've done. Because a lot of folks are talking about what they're going to do. But I want you to see what I've done, and they've done a fantastic job. And Will, they did our commercial.
Yes, they did.
And I hope that you've seen the commercial. You got to go to the website and see the commercial because it's not canned. It's straight off of what I've been doing. And again, I got to get my hat off.
I give it to them too. You know,
Mindframe Media.
These guys are special. You know, I'm kind of particular. You know, when I and I want to make sure that it's right. And so when I go over with these two fellas. These two fellas are very good.
Yeah.
I must tell you that Mindframe Media guys, hey, if you can get in touch with them, get in touch with them. But wait, till after we get finished.
They busy right now.
Yeah, they busy.
Don't try to get them now.
They busy.
Brother Khalil and TJ have done an outstanding job.
They have.
I'm really grateful because Will, as we talked about our campaign a lot. We talk about it in terms of God.
That's right.
And even when I go to churches, I talk about not being mayor, but being servant leader of the city.
Right.
And that's from my heart. This ain't no, God ain't no, we ain't trying to pimp God. We ain't trying to commercialize God. I'm talking about from who I am as a man.
Right.
It's about Jesus Christ and what he's poured into me and how he's put us in a position right now, even with, the things that we don't have with everybody. We don't have all the money that these other guys have, but God has given us just what we need.
Right. I just was talking to, these guys had a young lady by the name of Betsy Patterson in there.
Yes.
And Betsy Patterson, and she didn't tell us about your spiritual background. She didn't tell us anything. You know what I'm saying? Betsy came through and came through to give a testimony for you. And it was heart-wrenching to what she said. It kind of touched us in here because we didn't expect that. You understand? And so you'll be seeing more and hearing more about that. I don't want to spoil it right now, but you'll be seeing more and hearing more about what these little testimonies for ordinary people.
Yeah, and I'm grateful for those people who support me because, let's be honest, there's some people who are hiding.
Right.
And I can't be mad at them because whatever the situation is, it's the situation.
But
when you believe in God and you have faith in him and you trust in him, I ain't worried about nobody else because he's going to send who's supposed to be here.
That's right.
Who wants to be a part of this campaign, who's going to be about this real change, this movement for the people, not for nobody. For the people. My heart is for the people. I have that spirit of David. I keep on top of that spirit of David. That's my spirit.
Right.
I don't care about who doesn't show. As long as I know I got God.
Yeah. And that's all we need. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what happens, he gonna make a way.
Yes, he is.
He make a way every time.
Come on.
I just believe like I never believed before. And I hadn't believed before. But now in my life, I definitely believe that no matter what happens, it's gonna be his will. All right.
And you said something to me, and again, we've been on this campaign trail for the last several months. You got to know me, I got to know you.
Exactly.
But you said something to me that really touched my heart because this is what you've done all these years.
Right.
And for you to give me that sentiment about me being one of the best candidates you've worked, that means a lot to me.
It is.
Because you ain't no fake dude. I ain't no fake dude. You gonna tell me
and I ain't gonna let you fake me out. You understand? I'm just not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep asking questions and get to it. And when I finally got to it in my spirit, nobody could stop me.
Yeah.
You understand? My wife asked me, she says, honey, you really want to go do that? I said, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I said, because I believe in what he does.
Yeah.
You understand? He's a genuine dude. I didn't know that before. I knew of you, but I didn't know you.
Yeah.
And so when you break bread with somebody and you spend some time with somebody and you see some family members and you dealing with some people that know him and all of a sudden everybody's giving that same testimony because it's all the other people are talking about how, oh, he mean and all he did. Well, you probably made him mean. You understand? That's how I feel.
And so people, many of you watch this show, you know I'm not mean, but you know what? That's the tactics when you're running for an office such as this, because it's about power and it's about control.
Right.
And I'm not about the power and the control. I'm about making a difference in the lives of people who feel as though they've been left behind and they've been marginalized. And I'm not just talking about the East Side. There are other people in other neighborhoods who feel the same way. So it ain't, sometimes they just stereotype it like we the only ones that feel that way. No, there's other people who have felt that way. But I was at a meeting, I was invited for a forum, and I want to thank the Block Club leader, Miss Cole, from the Jefferson Adams, Monroe, and Madison Block Club.
Yes, sir.
I was at a forum with the acting mayor and the senator and the Republican, and I was very poignant in the issues. I'm not going to shy away. I don't care who's in the room. I'm going to tell the truth. And when you tell the truth, as the Bible says, it will set you free.
Every time.
And I'm going to tell the truth every single time, because people, please, you can see all the commercials you want. You can see all those commercials, and you're going to see a whole lot of them. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Right.
But it doesn't change your situation. And I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. I ain't putting no hate on nobody. I ain't talking against nobody. But I'm telling you, when you hear from me, it's real. And I'm telling you what I've done. And you can go, again, on the council's website. You can go to the videos for those finance committee, community development legislation. And I've been in touch with those issues. And that's what brought me in this position right now, where I don't think it's anything that they can say to me that I won't understand and can't articulate what we've been trying to do, or what I've been. Now, I've only been the councilman for the university district, but there's been so many things I've done that has affected the entire city. And so again, I think my leadership will be well suited because I'm the most experienced. So people are going to tell you what they're going to do. I've done those things. And the acting mayor right now, you got to tell me, what has he done? How has he improved your situation?
That's right.
I'm going to tell you, and I'm telling a little story like I had told you at the meeting with the acting mayor, with the Miss Cole. It came up that she had been trying to get in contact with the commissioner of assessments.
Yes, sir.
She wasn't able to get in contact with him. She said she had been trying for 2 months and just didn't understand why this man ain't respond to her. And she said, all that money you making, you can't respond to your constituent.
Right.
And so the acting mayor says, oh, I'm going to make sure he gets there. I'm going to make sure. And I could have just been quiet. I ain't have to say nothing. He's looking bad. But I got up and said, the guy who's the commissioner of assessments is a good guy.
Right.
Even though, I see him plastering everything about the acting mayor. He wants him to be mayor. He's all in for him. And I can't be mad because he got a job.
That's right.
But I just still spoke about his character, that he was he's not a bad guy.
Exactly.
And that's how I am. But when you double backdoor me, stab me in the back, you have press conferences in my district, and then as recently as yesterday, sent out an email, a letter regarding the Shoshone Avenue project, the master plan, and you left my name off.
Yes.
But you put the other council member who is that's not his district, you put his name on it.
Right.
And so folks, I hope you're paying attention. Character matters.
Yeah.
Character matters.
Yes, they do.
Don't let these commercials, don't let people smooth talking, don't let them, because they called your name, fool you and thinking that they for you.
Right.
And again, I'm not talking about race, I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about in general. Character matters.
Yes.
And I can say Bessie Patterson, and the Queen, said that to me, and she put that in my spirit.
Right.
About character.
Right.
And that matters. And so many people, and so many of you know who I am. I ain't no fake guy. I don't have no two-face.
Come on.
Some people might try to act like I have two-face, but they have another agenda. But the people who genuinely know me, that ain't even who I am. I can't. It's even hard for me. And I said this on my Facebook Live the last time, that it's hard for me to talk about myself because that ain't who I am.
Right.
I'm not one of, you don't see me posting every time on TV or every time I'm in the news. I ain't putting all that up. I mean, come on, man.
Right.
I mean, that's just too much because I'm really a family person, and you're going to start seeing some of that in some of our commercials because I'm a family person.
Right.
I have a lovely wife who I love dearly. We've been together since she was 14. Her mother tells me, since she was 14.
Wow.
I have 2 sons. My daughter passed. And I don't want to talk about her too much. My daughter Kayla, because I'll just start breaking down right now. when she was 16 years old. So, and I have 3 beautiful grandchildren. I have a wonderful family, aunts, uncles. If you know, I have a wonderful family who has been a part of making me who I am today. So I'm not one of these people that, you know, act like I got it all, because I don't. But I'm a humble person, and that's who I am in general. I don't. I'm not just showing for the camera.
Right.
You know, even when I go to events, sometimes people gotta force me to come to the front because I'm not that guy. I'm an introvert.
Right. And you know, the thing that I like that makes me know that I have the best candidate is because when we go to these forums and all these events, and they stand up and say, you know, the councilman is right. And you know what the councilman said. And then when the councilman said that, now these are candidates that's saying the councilman is right. So I don't even know why they got in the race, really, to be honest with you. I don't know why they got in the race. But for them to say that, okay, the councilman is right. When he said that, he was right, you know. And so it makes me feel good that I know that my councilman my candidate has his finger on the pulse of what's going on in this community, and he's being able to express it in a way that no one else can.
And I get that love and respect from people. I mean, we were out in South Buffalo, and you know, we all have our different perspectives on communities, and we think that you know, folks are against us, but they receive me. And matter of fact, Miss Dill was at the Jam Black Club meeting, and came and got a picture with me. Man, well, I'm telling you, that meant the world to me. Because people are people.
That's right.
No matter black, white, purple, Hispanic, Bangladesh, Arab, we all people.
That's right.
And we all want the same things to raise our families in a good community where we got good schools and able to get a job and get the services that we need. So that means a lot to me. So again, I'm fighting for you, and that's why I'm in this election, because honestly, and I'm not bragging, I could just sit on the sideline and go about my way. I got a master's. I could, you know, as I told my professor, I wanted a job as a general manager at a
you told me about that. I was like, what?
Shit, I was like, I ain't talking about no mayor. My professor said, you should run for mayor.
I
ain't interested in that. But now I'm in it, and I'm learning so much, and I'm seeing so much. And I have people that believe in me.
There's some candidates that wish you would have went on and been a GM somewhere. You know what I mean?
They want me to drop out because we want to do what we want to do. But I'm compelled now because there's so many people who say, I'm with you. I'm going to vote for you.
Exactly.
And I can't let them down. Just like when they tell me to drop out. How do I let these people who were out there in the cold and their freezing temperatures, getting signatures, how do I tell them, oh, I'm going to support somebody else?
Right.
You know, all your hard work, thank you, but I'm going to support some. How do I do that? That's crazy.
No.
You know, and so we're not doing that. We're in this race to the end.
That's right.
It's coming to crunch time, and I'm going to need you all. Please, when you see my Facebook posts, if you will share it, so that others can see what I've done. Because there are people who honestly haven't seen what I've done, and I know that. Everybody ain't watching 2, 4, and 7 all the time. They ain't seen me on the news. Like, just want to say, I always see you on the news. I said, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. And you're always, and she said, I'm always doing something good. You know, that doesn't go to my head. Because I still have more to do. And that's why God has kept me in this position. I was at Pastor Jones' church, and the members there, you know, thank God for them and their encouragement of me, you know, and you know what, we go to churches, you set me up for these churches, and I go and I stay to the end. I'm not going chasing the next one. I'm respectful to God, number one. And I'm respectful to those members, because they ain't get me to come and just say what I got to say, and then I don't want to praise God and worship with them. And I worship with them. I don't sit there on just, you know, looking pretty, looking cute. No, Lord, thank you. Thank you, because it's that Sunday. I'm worshiping God no matter where I'm at.
And he's going to remember you because of that fact. Because if you be ashamed in front of him in front of man, you understand? He's going to be ashamed in front of you when it comes to that time. Listen, from that Jones church that you went to, Mount Aaron, down on Genesee Street, I got some calls from some people over there saying, that guy is great. Willie, because I know him. Okay, I know those people that was in that church, and they were telling me that guy is great. He was on point what he was saying to us, but also he worshiped with us and he stayed with us. That's important to people because a lot of politicians, or should I say candidates, don't know that people are watching them, And so when you rush up in there and you shake your head and then you out the door, they remember that, And so it's not that you're being phony or anything like that. That's who you are when you come to worship.
Yeah.
You understand? I don't like when they come in my church and want to do that. I ask them, are you going to stay? You know, are you going to be here for a while? You know, because I want to get that straight. You understand? And sometimes they'll come late.
Yeah.
So they don't have to stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I applaud you in doing what you do when you do that, because it's genuine.
Yeah.
And anybody that see you, because we got you set up for some more churches coming up.
We do.
So anybody that see you, they're going to know you come to worship with them.
Yeah.
Get down and get dirty with them.
And you know, and again, I'm thankful for you, Will, because you know, you're getting ready to be elevated.
That's
to
right.
Reverend.
That's right.
And you know, when you came on to this campaign, the first thing that we started doing, we prayed.
For every meeting.
You know, and,
got to.
And that speaks volumes. And we're rooted in knowing that this our master.
We got to put him first.
And
we got to put him first.
And so this ain't phony, this ain't fake.
No.
We know that God orders our steps, and I'm grateful. So I'm grateful because when you and I talked about me going to churches, and you said to me, you know, well, you know, we should be thinking about staying. I'm like, well, I'm with you because we're cut from the same cloth. We on the same page.
That's right.
I ain't going and just saying, oh, let me get to the next church. No, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to worship.
That's
because
right.
I know that He orders my steps, and I get a double dose. Because you know, it's like you go to church every Sunday. I go to True Bethel, then I go to
your home church.
I go to my own when I can, because sometimes we had those services that were earlier.
Right.
But I'm grateful to God because He knows. You know, I am always in my church.
That's right.
I don't care what it is. I'm at my church unless it's an emergency or I'm out of town. I'm at my church because that's who I am, and that's how I want to. You know, I know they always talk about this separation of church and state, but you are who you are.
Right.
You know, and I'm a man of God, and I want to have a moral compass in serving the people from that compass, not just simply, oh, I want to get $1. You know, I've heard some stories where, you know, people have been paid to do certain things in the current administration and all that type of stuff. And that ain't going to be about me, because I want to take, honestly, I want to take government out of City Hall. These people should be able to do their jobs and do them for every single person the same way that come through that door. It don't mean who you are, what you are, who you connected to. It's about you being a taxpayer.
Right.
Bottom line.
That's right.
That's
right. And the bottom line also is the fact that in the Bible itself,
sir. Come on now.
The politics is throughout the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Russian Empire, Roman Empire, and all of these different entities that talks about counselors and all of that is in there, okay? Unless they tore it out. You understand? That's what we say about that. You know, it's in that Bible unless you tore it out. You understand? But bottom line of it is, for you, is that I'm glad that you're a man of God, because it made it real easy for me to come over here and not have to play politics and be able with somebody that's rooted, you understand, in the Word. And so, you know, a lot of people, when they see me now, they want to know, oh, you with him? Oh, yeah, because he's rooted in the Word. And so I like for us to take that to City Hall with us to get some respect in our community, and so those types of things. So I'm with you. 100.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna keep saying what I'm saying, and it's not phony, it's not fake. I want to be the servant leader.
Yes, sir.
I learned that in my master's class about servant leadership, and that's who I am. I don't want you don't have to kiss my ring. You don't have to call me the honor. Just call me by my right name, Rasheed. But I'm willing to do anything for anyone, especially as it comes to the city. You know, our outreach director, Mr. Tony Campbell. Mr. Tony Campbell. Took a call yesterday from this woman. Now, it wasn't about the campaign. It was about her distress.
That's right.
And I took the call, and I talked to this lady, and I told her everything's gonna be all right. I told her not, and I wasn't doing it because no vote. No, because I'm a human being. I'm a man of God, and we're supposed to take care of our brethren.
That's right.
And I took care of that, and I told her what to do. I told her to call my office, because the lady that works in my office is a licensed social worker.
Come on,
and she can direct her to get some resources, because this woman took on some children that weren't hers, but she felt obligated. Like, I got to take care of these kids. So my job is to try to make sure that we get people connected where they can get help. Our government should be a part of that.
Yes, sir.
It shouldn't be separate. I know that's Erie County's job for the most part, but at the end of the day, it's my job as a man of God to be able to help those who need help, who are crying out. and I want to do a better job of that. But we got to take care of our finances.
Right.
We got to put the right people in place.
Right.
You know, today we had Sugar Ray Hall here.
Sugar Ray
Hall came in.
Kanisha's finest.
And he said a word,
yes,
you know,
he
about
did.
just growing up on the East Side and how we come through a lot of things.
Right.
And here we are today.
Yeah.
And I believe that because Ray Hall, when I was growing up, was somebody who inspired me.
Right.
I mean, he was inspiring me from an basketball aspect, but Ray Hall is a good man, a good guy, a good father.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I want to surround us in our leadership in City Hall with good people.
Yes.
No, they got to make a lot of them. They got to be connected.
Yes.
They have to have a heart for the people.
That's right. And these boys is very smart because Ray put some stuff down.
Yeah.
You know, and then Malik Campbell came in here.
Sir.
I thought I was going to throw a ball up. You know, I said, wait a minute. All these ball players over there, we ain't got no ball.
He got his son to come in.
Man.
And he came in willingly. It wasn't like you had to bend his arm. He knows what I've done.
No.
But his dad is that cut from that cloth.
You're right,
And I guess, again, it goes back to servant leadership, manhood, leadership.
Come on, man.
I want to be a good model for this city, for our men. That we ain't got to act out and do these different things to do whatever.
Right.
All we got to do is stand together and band together because our women need us.
So do.
And I ain't diminishing women, so please don't say that. I'm not diminishing. But the Bible talks about a man leading, and that's where I'm coming from.
Right.
A man should lead, but you definitely need a woman.
Right.
You know, because I got a darn good wife. You know, she's awesome.
Right.
And she checks me sometimes.
Yeah. You know, we went through this last night where it talks about in the Bible about a husband and how a real husband loves his wife.
Yes, sir.
He has to have that love.
Yes.
And so therefore a woman wouldn't be so not so eager to submit to them. Okay. And then you go all the way down the line there and he says also the kids will obey.
Yes, sir.
All right. So if you got chaos in your home, right, it's because maybe that husband ain't doing the right thing.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And maybe he needs to come to Christ.
Yeah.
Some kind of way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But I don't want to preach on your time.
No.
Right now.
But honestly, we not, because we're not diminishing anybody.
Right.
Everybody needs help.
Yes, sir.
You know, and not everybody understands or have been through what we've been through.
Exactly.
But we've all been through something. And again, how do we encourage those good values? Because there was a time when you had that man in the house. We had, like you talked about, those great men like Mr. Bellamy, Mr. Bell, and those great men in our community. They were pillars in our community.
That's right.
I want to be a pillar. We had talked to he just came yesterday. Mr. Gator. Daryl Gator. And his dad.
Right.
Bill Gator. A giant in this community.
The Bill organization.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man.
Yes, sir. And you know the history.
Yes, sir.
And I'm learning more about the history, but at the end of the day, you want real leadership. You want servant leadership. You want someone who's been on a council for 12 years and know what the issues are.
That's right.
You want somebody that is not coming in talking about what they think they're going to do, or anticipating what they're going to do.
Right.
Somebody who's shown an ability to do it. And I've shown that ability to stand up for the people, and I'm going to continue to stand up. And thank you all who have seen and encouraged me, even though you don't see me on those commercials, but you're going to see some commercials. Let me tell you, it's coming.
Right.
Because my friends at Mindframe Media is putting it down. And if you go to my website, you will see the commercial.
What's the website, Councilman?
The WyattForMayor.com or WyattForBuffalo.com. Go to either of those sites. Not only are you going to see the commercial, but you're going to also see the evidence, and the proof. And Wyatt for Buffalo Mayor. You're going to see the evidence and the proof of what I've done, not just the rhetoric, and I think that's really important. It just, people can talk about what they're going to do, even the acting mayor, he's everywhere. He's got the bully pulpit.
Yes.
But what does that translate to for you?
That's right.
Now we're looking at an 8% tax increase. We looked at the American Rescue money, that debacle at the end of December. What's the number? I've said it on my commercial. I don't know really what the deficit is. I've been told 70 million, 50 million. I don't know. I really don't. And that's something that I think is important to you. We should not be operating and not knowing what those issues are, what that number is. And again, in my background in finance, my boss has already told me, if I find one number wrong, I'm questioning every number. And that's just it. It ain't about politics. It's about questioning and knowing what those numbers are. And we should know that because we're all in this together. And so when we're all in it together, I need to have the right information so that because we have some tough days going forward, but I'm going to bring you to the table, and you're going to be involved as many times, as much as you want to be involved. You will be involved, and that's how I operate the University District. We have a meeting coming up on June 7th. So you can call my office and get that information, get registered, because I always want to get that information out, and I want to hear from you. So it's just not about me talking. It's about hearing from you. And so that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at approving the budget for the city. And we'll get more information on that. And I've given you some information. I've already told the leadership that I'm looking for us to have cut that overtime in half, because a lot of it is contractual. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of it. Some of it is contractual. But to the extent that these other dollars are coming out, we need to right size that. Because we have a lot of other things that we do. We have youth programs that we want to help fund, senior programs. And so if we cut the fat, hopefully there'll be something left over so that we can improve our neighborhoods and these organizations. And I know many organizations, cultural organizations, are looking for dollars. And that's part of our platform. We want to make sure that the fiber and the fabric of our city, meaning those block clubs, those arts organizations, that we help fund them because they provide a significant service to our community. And so if we right-size government and we can have those dollars available for those groups, especially as it relates to youth, because I know that there's a lot of organizations out there struggling to provide for our youth, and they're the next generation. So we should be doing all we can to help them. But the first part is getting our finances in order. And so please, thank you all for your support. Thank you all for your kind comments. This day was another awesome day.
Yes, it was.
The people who came through the door,
Yes, it was.
who have said they want to be a part, who want to support, who want to lend their name to this campaign, and it means a lot to me. You know, I'm not endorsed by any particular group, which I'm fine with, because if I'm endorsed by a group, that means I'm not working fully for you.
Right.
And that's what I want to do. I want to make sure I'm working 150% for you, because you have been cast aside for too long. The burden continues to be put on you, and I don't want you to have that burden, especially when we're here looking at Trump and he's getting rid of the project on Bailey Avenue. He wants to cut HEAP. He wants to cut food stamps. He was messing with people's Medicaid. He's taking away, messing with people's Social Security. We can't have that. You know, people are working too hard for that. But if I take care of the finances of the city, that's one less thing for you to be worried about. So again, thank you all for joining us. If you want to join this campaign, you can join us at 3435 Bailey Avenue, right at the corner of Highgate, from 1 to 7. Come through. If you want a campaign sign, you can also hit us up on our website, or you can call us here and you can get that information. We have another group of signs we just had to order, but please come through. And we also have this QR code. If you scan on that QR code, you can get more information about me. But again, I thank everybody for their encouragement, because we in this to win it, and I'm in it for you. So until next time, Wyatt's Watch, Wyatt is out. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.